Hi students, how's it going? It's Dr. Fasonic. I am so sorry I couldn't be with you today, but for the first time in 19 years I'm missing the first day of classes, but I do have a good reason. Towards the end of the break I developed shingles, and I don't know if you know what that is. We've always thought that it was, an older person's disease, but in reality it's, I guess, affecting younger and younger people all the time. It's from the chickenpox virus. It hangs out dormant in your system, and then you get older and it shows up as shingles. It's painful. It's like this rashy thing, and it itches and it burns, and it's so tiring. And I am contagious for a little while longer. Not contagious to most people, but I could pass chickenpox off to somebody who has never had it, to pregnant women, to anybody that's immunocompromised. I could make them sick, and so my doctor has asked me to stay home until January 26th, which is next Monday, and I can do that. I really wish I was there with you, though, because I hate missing the first day of class, because that's a day that I get to meet all of you, and some of you already know, so hey everybody, I already know. Anyways, so this semester is going to be exciting. If you know anything at all about how I teach my honors classes, we hook up with the Heinz History Center in Pittsburgh to work together to help local historical societies get some coverage. This semester, we're going all the way to Beaver County. We're going to take a bus up there. Beaver County is over there. You can look it up. I think it'll take us maybe a little over an hour to get there by bus. And we'll go up, spend the day at one of the Beaver County Historical Societies. We will take a tour of the society, talk about the function of local historical societies. They will feed us a nice lunch, and then you all would pair up with your Beaver County Historical Society, smaller society, and go visit that location with the members of the society. Get your ideas ready for your digital stories, and really lay the groundwork. We have decided to branch out from where we've been working in the past, just to give other historical societies in the region an opportunity to work with us, because we have been working with a lot of the same organizations for about a year and a half, like California Area Historical Society, Monessen, and so forth. And this will give us a chance to really branch out and do something different, and to help out the people in Beaver County, because they do need our help in getting awareness for what their awesome organizations are doing. So you have a chance to do some research beforehand to figure out which society you might want to work with, and then we'll make our decisions probably before we head up there. We are going on Wednesday, March 4th. We'll be taking a bus together and heading up to the Historical Society, so that's a day you cannot miss this class. You have to be there, because you have to meet with your Historical Society and your group that day, so you know what's going on. Also, Bob Stakely, who is our guy from the History Center, who we work with, he's our liaison, he will be coming down on March 18th to visit us and to answer any questions we have. So that's like 2 weeks after our visit to Beaver County, and a week after we come back from spring break, that Wednesday after spring break. Speaking of spring break, it is ideally placed in our calendar this semester. So it's like right in the middle of the semester, so we've got really two halves, two separate sections of the semester. And in the first section, we will be talking about the book A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson, and it's about his journey to through hike the Appalachian Trail. If you have not read this book, you need to make sure you read it, because there will be a quiz on Monday, the 26th, when I come back, that will cover the entire book. Now, I did tell you several times over the course of the semester, I emailed everybody and said, make sure you read this, make sure you read this. If you haven't done it yet, start today, because it will take a while. It's several pages long. I don't have a book to show you. I mean, I have my copy and an electronic copy, all kinds of copies of the book, because you can buy any copy you want. I mean, the thing is dirt cheap. So, buy whatever copy you want. You just have to make sure you get one. Anyways, so the first half of the semester, and I'll talk to you again about the quiz towards the end of my presentation today, but the first half of the semester we'll really look at A Walk in the Woods and talk about how research informed his writing, because that's what 250 is. Honors 250 is really looking at more intensely at how do you incorporate research into your projects, into writing, into thinking. So the first half of this class will be looking at A Walk in the Woods and how he incorporated research into that, and what you can learn from him in terms of writing your own work, especially the work that you're doing with the Historical Society. So basically, and I want to make sure I read this so that or at least glance over it, so that I don't forget to tell you something. The first half of the semester, we will be talking about A Walk in the Woods, and your projects will really focus on that. So your first assignment will be for you to update the bibliography. If you look at the back of the book, there's a big bibliography of sources that Bryson used when he was writing the book. We want to update that because it hasn't been updated since 1996 when he wrote the book, so a lot of texts have come out about the Appalachian Trail since then. So what I want you to do for your first assignment, and we'll obviously go over this long before you have to turn it in, is to add some sources to that. You'll be adding websites and so forth, and this will give you an opportunity to work with either APA style or MLA style. It's up to you, whichever is more likely to be used. The format is more likely to be used in your major or your area of expertise or specialization. And so you have that choice. But this will give you some more practice with documentation. And so that's the first thing we'll do after the quiz. After that, you will have to come up with a proposal. I want to give you an opportunity to figure out how to use research to write a grant proposal. So I created this fictional organization that has decided that it's going to give money away to people who want to hike the Appalachian Trail. You have to describe why you want to do it, but you also have to include a budget of everything that you would take, from food to supplies and so forth, how much every item would cost and all those things. And we will talk about where you find that information when I come back and in the weeks after we return from me being off. So we will go through that, and you'll have to be persuasive. Why would they want to give you, of all people, the money to hike the Appalachian Trail? And are you going to through hike it? Where are you going to pick up supplies at a post office and so forth? So that's why it's really important that you read Bryson's book, because he talks about all the different things that people do and how they get around the trail. Anyways, so the last thing you'll do in the first half of class is create your own video. It'll give you a chance to practice digital storytelling and also to incorporate some ideas from the first half of class. Your first video digital story will focus on a journey that you have taken. And I'll get the germs started for that with the discussion board assignment that's due on Friday, which I'll talk about later. But basically, in your first video, you will talk about, in 3 to 5 minutes, a journey that you have taken. And it doesn't matter what kind of journey it is. It could be a physical one, it could be a psychological one, it could be both, but it has to be some kind of journey. And we're doing that because it relates directly to A Walk in the Woods. So it gives you, it narrows down the pool of ideas of things that you could talk about in that first video. And so we'll talk about that, of course, more later. Those of you who have done digital storytelling before, you can imagine the kinds of ways that you would want to do that, but we will talk with the rest of you and get everybody on the same page. Also, if you have not taken this class, like if you didn't take 150 with me in last semester, you might want to see if somebody in the class could give you or loan you a copy of their book, Digital Storytelling by Lambert. It will very much help you figure out what all this digital storytelling business is about. And of course, I will do my best to kind of catch you up and get you in the fold. So the second half of the semester, you'll turn in your video, your personal video about your journey to give you some practice again. We'll take a look at those, maybe we'll watch some in class, and then we'll go to Beaver County. Then we'll have our spring break, and then we'll come back, and that's when you're really starting to focus on the community. You'll write a community history paper that's a brief 2 to 3 pages about the historical society that you're working with, and then you'll make an introductory video for that historical society, and then the last assignment you'll have to do for that historical society is create a feature video. And the feature could be anything you want it to be. So before you go and see that historical society, you'll have to do a little bit of work, do a little bit of research on what they're doing in their historical societies, and where this community is, and what is the important thing in that community, or what are some important things in there, and something that you could focus on. Your last assignment will be to create a reflection letter in which you'll collect some of your work and some of your journal entries, and you'll talk reflectively about this semester and what you did, what was useful, what wasn't useful, what you've learned from it, and so forth. It is the end. You will have 3 actually, commitments outside of this class, and I've given you some class off in exchange for those things. But first, you have to go to Beaver County in March. Second, you'll have to go to the Celebration of Student Writing and present your video or a version of it, and that will be Thursday, April 30th in the Convocation Center. Again, more information about that in the syllabus, and we'll talk about it a lot before then. And the final thing is we will have a digital storytelling premiere, and where that will be is still a question because, to get back to Beaver County, we'll have to take a bus because I can't expect you guys to drive there to get transportation that far away. And so whether we have it in Beaver County or we have it here on our campus, at Cal U or not, that remains to be seen. But I'll have more information for that for you later. But those are the 3 outside of class commitments that you have to make for this class. And so if you feel like you're up to it, read over the semester, and if you feel like you're up to the challenge, definitely stay in the class, and we'll have a good time this semester, I think. People who have taken me last semester seem to have enjoyed it, and I know I did, and I always enjoy this class and teaching and thinking about digital storytelling and how media and how we can actually help local historical societies improve what they're doing and get the word out about their success. So I see by my time that I'm running out of time for what I've budgeted myself because I didn't want to keep you all day. Nobody wants to watch a video for half the day, and I think Kim is there. Kim, anywhere? And I'm really appreciative of her for showing this video, and I don't want to take up more of her time than I need to. But the last thing you need to do, a couple things actually. One, make sure that you go to the discussion board. What you need to do is, first of all, read the syllabus. It's online, and it has all this information, and it goes into detail. I didn't want to read it to you here, but I wanted to make sure that you had the information. Second, go to the discussion board. You will have to post about 100 words where you talk about some journey that you've been on, psychological or physical, and that you can relate to us and relate back to what Bryson was doing, and then respond to 3 of your classmates' posts, and do that by 2 p.m. on Friday. So you have until then to do it, 2 p.m. And again, that's on the syllabus. The discussion board's on D2L. And the last thing, make sure that you read the book. Do not rely on anything else. Actually read the book because the quiz will be an essay on Monday. I do have a study guide that's on D2L for you that you can read over. You do not have to answer it. You do not have to fill it in, but definitely read it over because I guarantee that at least one of the questions in that study guide will be on the quiz. So make sure on Monday that you bring something to write with, something to write on, and we'll be ready to go. So anyways, I'm so sorry I can't be there, but I promise when I come back, I'll be my old self again, ready to go, ready to work with you, and I will see you when I get back on Monday, January 26th. If you have any questions about the syllabus, what we're doing this semester, the book, anything you want to know, please send me an email at fasonic@calu.edu. I will be glad to get back to you, as soon as I can. I do work several hours a day still from home, even though I'm still pretty tired. Anyway, so I'll catch you later. See you on Monday. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your first week. Bye.